Hey, welcome back, you guys. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Swadik Mayanja, and we are on another episode of the Everyday Hero Show, where I bring to you someone in your life, or bring to you someone in my life that brings us joy, happiness, and good things, but does not get the credit that they deserve. Today we have another fitness junkie, someone who keeps active, someone who inspires me to stay active, has a fantastic online presence with workouts and lifts and creative stuff to keep you young, healthy, and looking, dare I say, sexy. We have Kelli Lawless on, and you can find her on Instagram and on Facebook at Lawless Lifts Fitness. Kelli, thank you for joining me. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So, Kelli, let's start from the beginning, all right? Because Kelli and I, we go way back. When I say way back, I mean way back. But, Kelli, in the beginning, why don't you tell me and the people out there, who are you, where are you from, and how did you get to this point where you're super excited, super obsessed with working out?
So I'm from Newton. I'm still around the area now. I'm living in Watertown, but moving to Shrewsbury soon.
Good for you.
So I'm sure you know, back in high school, I was like skinny,
Yeah.
like super skinny, had no muscle. And my nickname used to be Bonesy.
Oh,
so
Jesus Lord.
no muscle at all. So my stepdad kind of got me into like the gym. He was like, "Oh, you should probably start working out." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, I'll try it." I used to be one of those girls that would like go to the gym and be like, "Okay, I'll go on the treadmill for like 30 minutes and then I'll do like 25 sit-ups and then call it a day."
Yeah.
Like that used to be my workout. So once I got into weightlifting, I more specifically did like bodybuilding. I became obsessed and like could not stop. And now like it got to the point where I just wanted to do it so often, and I found like the benefits with it. So I wanted to teach other people, and then I became a trainer, and now like 6.5 years later, here we are.
Yeah. So that's a shit. When I said quick, she really went quick. But like, don't worry. That's what I'm here for. We're gonna parcel this out. No, girl, that's exactly what I asked, and you gave me what I asked, so I appreciate it. But let's slow it down, okay? Because I want to get to the point. Like, I want to wait. That decision you went from because like you said, most ladies, and that's just a thing that's out there. When they go to the gym, they want to stay slim. They don't want to
tone.
Yeah, exactly. They want tone. They don't want muscles, right?
Right.
So what was it, the actual act of doing the weightlifting that you're like, I'm obsessed with the weightlifting, and then the muscles just came and that's life? Or were you like, I want to look like that? How did that work?
I think at like the beginning, I was just kind of doing it to see, kind of like test it out, see if I liked it. And then like it got to the point where I was going every day. I would spend like an hour and a half, 2 hours in the gym, and it was just fun for me. And honestly, it was kind of like therapy.
Yeah.
So that's why I liked it so much. And then I started seeing results. So then I started getting muscle, and I was like, ooh, actually, this is nice.
Who's that fine thing in the mirror? Who's that fine? Yeah, I see you.
So that's when it was like, okay, I actually really like this. And I feel like, like muscle on girls wasn't really a big thing, and nowadays it's becoming like this big movement. Like now girls who have muscle are like finally sexy, but before it was like you had to be like a size 0 or a size 1.
Thank you. That's very, very true. So, because I can remember prior to getting into CrossFit, and I'm going to start talking about CrossFit just for a hot second because that's my thing. You know me. You guys know me. Yeah. But prior to start going into CrossFit, the only, and I swear to God, and I'll take this to the grave with me, but the only famous sexy person, or the only famous person I knew that was a muscular female, was Serena Williams. And obviously that was my bias because I'm not into the weightlifting world. I'm not into the prior to CrossFit, I wasn't into the CrossFit world. And that was the only public figure. And I dare you guys out there, if you knew of a public figure that was famous and well represented in the media that was muscular and female, let me know in the comments. But outside of Serena Williams, I swear to God, I did not know many others, right?
Yeah.
And then I started doing CrossFit, and then the world opened up to me. So, okay, before we go into the details of CrossFit versus bodybuilding versus Olympic lifting, before we go into the details of that, I want you to talk about the not the struggles, but what was the difficult when you were transitioning into working out? It sounds like you really enjoyed it, but what were the difficulties? What did you find that was hard for you? Was it like a certain specific type of workout? Was it the regimen? What caused you some trouble, if anything?
There are definitely a few things. I think at the beginning, nutrition was one of my hardest points to get over. I 100% will admit it. I was a horrible eater. Like, I to this day don't really eat a lot of vegetables and fruits, so like that's a big downside. But I used to be a really bad binge eater, and that used to like destroy my results. So I would just like eat in the closet and like no one would know, and then the next morning I like felt like crap. So nutrition, like getting into like a regimen and like realizing that like I don't have to deprive my body of like pizza or ice cream was one of the biggest like things that helped me, because the more I cut something out of my diet, the more I wanted it, and that was like one of the hardest things.
Oh yeah.
And then the other really difficult thing to get over was going from like a size 0 to like moving up in clothes and like seeing the scale move. I think as a female that's like really difficult, because girls are always like obsessed with the scale. So moving from like a size 0 to a size 4, I was like, oh my god, nothing fits. Like none of my shirts fit because my back was too big, my biceps, like nothing fit. So getting over that mentally, like that was a big thing too. That was definitely difficult.
So both of those things we could have entire day conversations about. So let's touch upon this nutrition thing, because I've had this conversation with nutritionists on, with other weightlifters on, all of these things. Like a bunch of people have given me and the people out there a bunch of different advice, right? Mm-hmm. And I've come to terms with understanding that things work for specific people, right? And there's general advice that works for everyone. Just eat less than you burn your calories. I mean, that's like as basic as you could get, right?
Yeah.
But what works for you specifically? And I do want you to get into the details of your specific diet, because we all know the general idea, but maybe someone out there follows your diet and maybe it changes their life. I don't know, but I want to know your specific details, because obviously it's working.
So with nutrition, like, I mean, obviously, you know, like it's different for everyone. The calories are different, the macros are different. I follow specifically not so much on calories, but macros.
Well, what's a macro?
So your macros are like your macronutrients, your proteins, carbs, fats. So those are the big groups.
Okay.
So on like a typical day, every meal I make sure I get like at least 30 grams of protein. That's really big. And I think a lot of people don't get enough protein, and I think that the more I like work with people, when I tell them to actually add up their macros and their calories, they're at like, some people will be at like 1,200 calories a day, which is so low, and then like their protein is like 50 grams, which is way too low. So I meal prep once a week. I make sure I have all my meals cooked. I have protein bars. I have like 2 protein shakes a day, so I'm making sure that my protein is pretty high. But like I said, I don't eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. I really gotta get better on that. But honestly, like I do snack a lot too. Like I'm not a person who deprives myself with food, because then I end up binging, and that's like the worst thing.
And what do your snacks look like?
I eat a lot of pizza, nachos. Those are like my 2 favorite meals.
Okay, side note. Time out. Kelli, look me in the eyes. I asked you for snacks.
Oh, okay.
Oh
snacks.
my god! If those are your snacks, girl, what are your meals?
Okay, snacks.
Those are big snacks.
Okay, so snacks, like a lot of my snacks are like
I love
more
that, Kelli.
healthy.
I love that. I'm so sorry. That was so funny. Okay, yeah, your snacks are more healthy.
Like for snacks, I'll eat like one of my favorites is a Quest bar, but that's like the macros are good because it's 21 grams protein, 21 grams carbs, and then I'll put like almond butter on that, which I love, or the oats and honey, the Nature Valley bars with peanut butter. I love that. So my snacks like aren't crazy bad for you, I would say. Yesterday I had a Klondike bar for a snack at my grandma's, so
that's
like
exciting.
that fit in with my macros, so it's fine.
Goody. All right. So and I like that. What I really like is the fact that you're not afraid to eat bad food. Yeah. Right. And how? So the way you look at it, so what I'm getting out of what you just told me is that you make sure you have all your meals prepped, and then like after eating your prepped meals, if you do want like a slice of pizza, if you do want a scoop of ice cream, you're not gonna say no. But what do you do to thaw away from the binge eating? Like, are there any tricks? Are there any things that you tell yourself? Are there anything that you'll grab every time you feel like you need to binge? Or will you have one scoop or one spoonful or one sip of whatever you're binging? Like, how do you control that urge? Because like everyone says that they binge, and I think it really is an everybody problem. We all just choose the different things to binge on.
Yeah. I feel like the most important and like the most helpful thing that I've learned over the past is like if I'm craving something, I should just allow myself to have it. Because if I don't, like the next few days, the next few hours, I'm like, oh my God, I really want that. Like, and then like eventually when I do have it, I have way too much of it. So like double stuffed Oreos, I love those. That's a huge snack that I love. And a lot of the times I'll have them in the house and I'll crave them just like walking by them. So I'll let myself have one and then it's fine.
Exactly. As long once you have it, you're like, yeah, all right.
Like,
well,
okay, this wasn't, I don't need like 10 of these.
Exactly. But if you tell yourself no for so long, you're like, God damn it, I deserve 10 of these.
I need 20.
Facts. Let's be honest, right? Let's be honest. All right. So I appreciate that. And I don't like to get, like, I like asking specifics just because like I said, so every time we talk about nutrition, all you nurses know out there, it's different for everybody. So you go ahead and try Kelli's way, and if it works, you got to give her a shout out. But try different things, because something might work for you that didn't work for your best friend or whoever. So let's move on over to, because you said the stepping on the scale, how you were gaining weight because you were getting them gains, right? So talk to me about that. Were the people in your life happy for you? Was it all in your head? Was this something that was a conversation you were having with yourself all the time? Did you get treated differently? Was anything happening outside, or was it all you, your own insecurities or your outlook on what's going on?
I think most people in my life, like, they were all really supportive. Once I started gaining a little bit of weight and like putting on muscle, people said like I looked better, like, and I honestly think I look better with muscle than being super skinny. I think more so like myself having insecurities, like to this day I still have insecurities.
Of
it's
course,
still like
doesn't?
It's a mental mind game that you go back and forth with. You love your body and you hate your body. So I think just trying to work on like that every day, that is like, that's the biggest part. It wasn't really anyone else, it was me. And I personally, I don't really ever step on the scale because I think it's like a horrible mind game that you play with yourself. And the scale doesn't tell you muscle versus fat. So like, it's not going to tell me if I gained any muscle and I lost any fat. So I don't really care. Yeah. I base it off of like the fit of my clothes or how I look in the mirror. Cause like you can tell if you've lost weight or if you've gained muscle, like you can see that, you can see it with your clothes. So that's basically like how I base it. And that was helpful to get me away from the scale. And then with the clothes like not fitting when I was gaining weight, I feel like I just got to the point where I was like, I mean, the goals that I had were to gain weight and to gain muscle. So I was like, I'm just achieving my goal. So why am I so mad about just going up a few sizes in pants? Like, that's the goal anyways. So I think it was just like reminding myself that, because society like honestly makes girls think that they have to be a size 0, but it's not true.
No. It's far from true. So now let's talk about what I've been wanting to talk about since the beginning. We're going to talk about CrossFit just for a little bit, maybe a longer bit. CrossFit, all right? So there's 1,000,001 different types of ways to stay active. You can be as simple as walking every day for an hour. You can run a marathon. You can do, the bike rides, the rollerblading, the CrossFit, the bodybuilder, all of the above. Play soccer, whatever. Join a league. What do you do? Okay, first let's start with what you do, because I do want to get to what I do later. But what do you do currently? Because this is your interview. What are you currently doing, or what have you tried in the past?
I do bodybuilding.
Okay.
I've specifically pretty much done that since the start. I got into like boot camp style workouts a little bit. I did do CrossFit here and there because of course at Forever Fit, that was part of it. And Nina being a CrossFit coach, like of course I did that. but I'm mainly bodybuild. That's what I love.
Mainly bodybuilding. And so you said that's where you started, right?
Yeah.
And once you started, it just clicked. It just worked
like,
for you.
I love this.
Yes. Okay. And you did it all day, every day, right? So that's really good. So the reason I'm obsessed with wanting to talk about CrossFit is because Nina, who she just name dropped, is shout out to Nina, because goddamn it, Nina was the very first person to really, really get me into CrossFit, right? I did CrossFit for 6-7 months in high school, and then after graduating high school, Nina was like, "Q, come on over, come work out with me, Q." And then once I started working out, Nina, you changed my life, girl. You changed my life. No, I love CrossFit. The CrossFit games are happening as we speak. I mean, I was like knee deep into the. I just loved it, right? Because it gave me that competitive push I needed in working out. I was accountable. There were other people I could compete with. There were numbers I was chasing. It was the whole thing, the whole package. But goddamn, it is intense.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that I would go too far with the CrossFit stuff, just because I started getting knee injuries, so I stepped away from CrossFit for a while. Because I love the competitiveness, it would break me down, right? So I want you, and I don't want you to badmouth CrossFit, because we'll end this conversation right now. But I do want you to talk about the safeties when it comes to working out. As a coach, now you're a trainer, right? What are the bare bones basics of trying to keep people safe when you are coaching them, when you are helping them train?
So one big important thing too is that, I did boot camp. So boot camp is basically CrossFit without the barbells. So it's same intensity, but you don't have the heavy weights with the barbells. And one thing that, I love CrossFit. I think it's a great workout. I think it kicks my ass. I'm not the best at doing cardio, and it gives me a hell of a great cardio workout.
All day.
But one thing that I constantly would see when I was a coach in boot camp, and even looking over at the CrossFit area, is everything is timed, right? So everyone is doing things fast. And form goes out the window.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me nervous, is because you're watching someone deadlift and you just see their low back. You see them using their low back, they're not using their legs, they're going too fast. You see them doing a squat, they're not even getting halfway to parallel. So
it's all back, baby.
So form just kind of goes out the window because people are trying to get such fast time. And that's one thing before I even was a trainer, when I took the boot camp classes, I would finish dead last. Every class, every single thing that we had timed, I would finish last, because I'm I'm not gonna hurt myself just trying to beat someone else in class. I'm gonna try to get a good workout. I'm gonna get my form down, and that's that. So that's one big thing that I do see that makes me nervous with.
Kelli, we're not the same type of human being. I'm gonna just say right there, because you look way too fit to be finishing last in anything, first and foremost. But second of all, I'm I have the exact opposite mindset of her. As soon as I see the clock, and if someone's standing next to me, if I'm not first finishing, I'm not talking to anyone. Okay, so
very competitive.
So
competitive.
I just want to finish as fast as possible, especially if the clock is up there. But that's a really good point, and I know. So it is true that happens, especially in CrossFit classes. But I also want to put it out there. All of the CrossFit coaches, so most CrossFit classes are 15-20 minutes of doing a lift and then a workout, right? So during that lift portion is when they really talk about the form and doing it right, and the coach comes up to you and tells you you're doing this. But Kelli is right. The second the clock goes on, fuck that. I'm finishing first, right? I don't care. I'm going to get the reps done, just the number of reps that I need to get done to get it done, especially if I'm trying to finish first.
Right.
But I'm going to just olive branch out there for all the CrossFit coaches, because every single CrossFit coach I've ever had has always come up to me, and it's impossible for them to go up to every person in the class every single time. But when I am really far off of doing the form right, they'll come up to me and be like, "Q, let's slow down. I know you want to finish, but you're killing your back right now."
Right.
So I know that's really important to you, right? So I want to get to you being an actual trainer. When you go to the gym by yourself, right? You do all of your stuff. What is your coaching model, way of coaching? Are you the hardcore coach where you have someone there and you're in their face, "You gotta lift this right now"? Or are you the coach that likes to tell the client to do what they want to do, and then you step back and you just sit back and relax and make sure they're doing it right? How do you go about doing it? And is it a patient? No, I keep saying patient because I'm a nurse. Is it a client to client situation, or do you have a way that you do most of your clients?
Honestly, it varies between clients because you have some clients that like want the hard push. They want you to be in their face and they want you to be yelling at them to keep going. And then like, I mean, the last gym I worked at, I worked with the average age there was like 76 years old. So I can't be screaming at them. Like they're really just there to move and like get their functional movement patterns right. So like it really depends on the client that I have. And you can kind of, once you get to know them, like you realize, okay, they don't really want to be pushed. They kind of just need it to take easy. So it varies. I have a few that I am in their face, like boot camp. I used to be screaming. Like that's a really high intensity workout. So you have to be very high energized. You have to be kind of yelling in their face. But when it comes to more training, a lot of it is, I feel like, more not so much yelling, but like you're still trying to keep them going, like, and doing it quickly too.
Yeah. So the reason I like having like a class oriented kind of workout like thing is because you're accountable not to just yourself but to other people. How often are you dealing with people that sign up for an 8-week session and show up for 2? How often are you dealing with people who sign up for I want a one-on-one coach thing and they every single time it's the day of, oh, I can't make it, my tire is flat, my back is hurting. Like, how do you deal with that? And my thing is, okay, let me just listen to you because I feel some type of way. So how do you deal with the quitters? Just to be honest, let's be honest. Some of these people are quitters.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it like fitness is a priority for some people and it's not for others, you know? So it's all about like what you value in your life. If you value your health, then you're going to make it a priority. You know the people that are just kind of in it because they think it's kind of good for them, but they're just going through the motions. And like I've had a few people who, you know, like they'll sign up and they won't show up the whole week.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Are you alive? Are you okay? Like, what's going on? And like, they're like, oh, it's been a really stressful week. I'm like, but wouldn't it be less stressful if you came to the gym?
Exactly.
So,
that you paid for.
Right. Some people just, it's not a priority. So you can only push them so much. And you can only, like, I can only do so much before they just kind of just stop coming.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm only part of it. It's their job to get their butt to the gym, you know, and then I'll kick their ass there. But if I can't get them to the gym, I can't do much. You can't
get them to the gym, right? You're not going to be picking all of them.
I can't hold their hand and bring them there.
Respect. No, it's the truth, man. You got to do something. At least show up so she can push you, right? At least show up. Right. At least show up. So do you enjoy more the one-on-ones or do you enjoy the boot camp classes? Which one do you prefer? Coaching, or which is easy, or which the pros and cons of each?
I mean, you look at a class that's boot camp, right? So like that could be anywhere from like 2 people to 15 to 20 people. So when you're in like a big group like that, you kind of risk the ability to see everyone and look at form perfectly. So like in a boot camp class, I would have to constantly just keep walking around the room, making sure I could see everyone. And then you also risk the fact that like you got chatty Cathy's who just want to talk, and then you're like, guys, come on, like work out. So there's that too. So the one-on-ones, like I do enjoy those because I think you create like a specific bond with someone, and it's nice. And a lot of the times like you get really close to them. So many of my clients like I'm really, really close with because we have that one-to-one. You're with them an hour at least once to twice a week. So I like both, but I think I definitely enjoy the one-to-ones.
Yeah. And I can see that and I can understand that, especially in a health like when it comes to working out, and you can be more specific and you can tailor the entire thing to them.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I really, really do enjoy as a client, I rather the boot camp classes because of the one-to-ones. I feel bad doing a hardcore workout and having someone just stand there and watch it. I really do feel like I'll be like, there is so much more you could be doing than watch me fail this.
Yeah. Sometimes you get people like that. And
I feel bad, Kelli.
I tell them I'm like, if you want me to work out with you, I'll work out with you. Like
that's a real
because sometimes that's more motivating instead of someone just like standing there being like, all right, 10 more, let's go. So I mean, I enjoy working out, so I'd gladly with boot camp. there were some classes that like only one person would show up. They're like, I don't want to do it alone. I'm just gonna go home. I'm like, you're not going home. I'll do it with you right now.
Let's do it.
So,
Bang it out.
Yeah.
I love that. I love it. She's a real coach. Do it, baby. Do it. The bodybuilding. Let's talk about you and the bodybuilding now, because when you say you do bodybuilding, are you doing it with the goals of actually competing? Do you ever see yourself competing? Is there a specific goal? Do you want to hit a specific number? Do you want to get to a specific weight? Or is it just for enjoyment?
I have so many people ask me this question.
Yeah.
They're like, do you do competitions? Are you gonna do competitions? Like, what's your end goal? What is it? And honestly, like, I just really enjoy working out. Like, when I go on vacation for a week and I don't work out and I'm like not really eating that great, I'm like, oh my God, I feel like crap. Like, I would never be able to give up working out and eating in a, like, 80-20, like, healthy diet lifestyle. So I think, like, it's just, I enjoy it so much. The end goal really, like, I just want to be happy and healthy. That's like the biggest thing. And I just know, like, you have to keep moving. I want to get stronger. That's definitely a big thing. But
keep going.
Like, can I ask?
When you say you want to get stronger, are you doing it by like specific workouts? Like, I need to lift more in this specific workout, or is it I want to get stronger? Like, I want to look at myself in the mirror and say I see more muscles. Like, what do you mean by?
A little bit of both,
of
for
course,
sure.
okay.
Yeah. Like, especially so with at the beginning of, like, in Forever Fit, at the beginning of my lifting, when I wasn't a trainer and I was just getting into it, I had injured my back and I ended up with a bulging disc in my L4, L5.
I'm sorry.
And it was horrible. It was, like, absolutely brutal. So, like, I wasn't able to really do as much leg workouts, and squatting and deadlifting was, like, out of the question. So specifically getting those two up, that's, like, my biggest thing, because that means, like, I'm really improving, my back is stronger, like, I've actually made improvements because I can actually deadlift 280 pounds off the floor.
Yeah.
Like, so
those are real results.
Yeah.
Those are real results.
Yeah.
That's legit. Those are some goals to set,
Yeah.
right? and I want to talk about that too. Because it's so you have specific goals. Are you the type that has a goal written down, you're chasing it every day, or are you the type that has a checklist? This week I need to do 3 days of back, 1 day of legs, 2 days, and that do you set your goals like that, or are there just the general goals up high in the sky? I'm working towards that every day.
It's definitely a little bit of both. So, like, normally, like, on a normal week, I always work out 5 to 6 days a week. Like, that's just what I always do. I always know, like, I'll do legs twice a week, back twice a week, and then, like, chest tries and chest twice a week, unless I can only get 5. But, like, I'll set small goals. Like, for a while, I kind of stopped doing cardio and abs altogether. I was just like, I don't want to do this. Like, it's not fun to me. So I set small goals where I was like, okay, I'm going to do 15 to 20 minutes of high intensity of cardio twice a week, and then I'm gonna do abs twice a week. And that was, like, my mini goals for kind of, like, the month, and I've been good with that, which is good. So I'll do, like, little goals like that, but generally the big picture is just, get stronger, build more muscle.
And then so your specific training schedule plan, you just told me, like, what you do every single week, but are you doing, like, max sets? Are you doing pyramids? Are you doing, like, the high intensity stuff? Are you doing, like, the negative stuff, or is it all of the above and it's different each week? Or do you follow a well-known bodybuilding plan? What is your workout plan?
So I switch it up only because, like, the body gets used to what you're doing, so you have to constantly switch it up. A lot of the times I'll create my own workouts and my own programs to do, which I like. But sometimes I'll venture off. Right now I'm actually, I just finished week 2. Do you know Jim Stepani?
I don't.
No? You should follow him. He's great.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So his workouts I'm doing right now, and it's an 8-week super shred program. So it actually has, like, high intensity work in it. It has 3 Tabata sets in it into the workout. So, like, the other day,
that's insane.
Yeah, it was crazy. There was Tabata push-ups after chest press, chest flies, like dumbbell flies, incline bench press. Like, it was insane. It's
hardcore.
Crazy. Yeah. It's good, though, because it pushes me in a way that, like, sometimes we all get comfortable in our routines and we're like, okay, Like I'll just kind of leisure my way through it, and I won't time myself, and I'll stick with the same reps and the same weights. So I like to switch it up and try other people's programs just to give me a little bit of like a push.
Oh, goody. So you just said that you make up some of your own workouts. And you are on Instagram and you are on Facebook and you do have a public profile. So what is the goal? Like, what are you chasing? Just I'm putting it out there so I get more clientele. Are you making, like, writing a book with all of your workouts in it? Like, what is the goal, if there is any?
Well, I think with social media, I was actually talking to one of my friends about this the other day. With social media, like, there's such a bad stigma with, like, honestly, workouts and like coaches and stuff, because honestly nowadays everyone's a coach apparently. Like there's all these different pyramid schemes that people get into, and like, not for nothing, if it works for them, that's great, but not everyone can be coaches because you have to be certified.
Respect. Yeah, it'd be nice if you were certified.
It would be.
If you were telling everybody you were a coach.
Right. So I think my biggest goal with like social media is just like getting a certain message out there, like making sure, especially to women and girls, I love getting a message. So I think more specifically, it's just like trying to get a general message out there. You know, that you don't have to be a size 0, that muscle on girls is actually like a good thing. Yes. And like a lot of people don't know certain things about calories and macros, and I'm not a dietitian, so like I can't really give like a plan or a regimen, but like I can at least give them a little bit of more information of like what I know personally. Yeah. And just kind of teach them what I generally have like gone through. Like I've written posts about binge eating. Like I try to be honest, because a lot of people on social media, I feel like you only see the good parts of their life and you don't see like, oh, okay, I was a closet binge eater for like ever, and yes, like I had such a hard time with nutrition, and I had back pain, and like I have anxiety problems, and like all this stuff. Like I try to be honest with it so people kind of get a bigger message out there. Like it's not just about fitness. My account, I feel like fitness like as a whole comes into like an emotional state, a mental state. It's not just physical. So it's kind of like a bigger message.
You must have done this before, because that was a perfect transition. So you just mentioned you want to be honest about your, you know, the rough patches you go through, right? So what happens? How do you deal with the anxiety, with the mental and the emotional state of falling off the what's it called, like you're working out all week, every week, and then you fall, you stop for 3 days, you go on vacation, you come back, you don't want to go back to the gym. How do you deal with that and all of the anxiety, the added anxiety of putting your stuff out there on social media and getting judged by the people you care about, by random strangers? How do you deal with all of that? And I know for a fact it's harder for a female, especially when it comes to working out and being physically active on social.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, that was like a big issue I had to like get over with, because I get stressed out super easily, and then I get really, really anxious. So putting like my life on social media for people to see, and you know, worry about getting judged and worry about like people writing bad comments and stuff like that, like it's a super shitty thing to have to like deal with. But usually, like if that does happen, you know, I'll just block the person. With, you know, when it comes to like anxiety, like there are a lot of things that can help. I take a lot of CBD products, so that definitely helps. But I think it's just like I try not to obsess over social media, because that's one of the biggest things that was a downfall to me within the past few years. Like I obsessed over it. I would go on it all the time, and then you go on it and then you go in this spiral where you follow all these people and you're like, oh man, like I wish I looked like that person, and I wish I had you know, a life like her, and I wish I did this and that. And so it's like very easy to compare yourself to others. So that's something I just try not to be on it too much, because I don't want it to like overcome my life. I don't want it to be like my life is on there.
I mean, like we got to be honest. I mean, like social media is literally taking over. I mean, it's like it is 24/7, nonstop, all day, every day. And like if you are doing stuff like both we are doing and putting stuff out there for a reason outside of flashy check me out, if you are actually putting stuff out there, then you have a reason to go on. But the downside of having a reason to go on is that reason usually takes about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, but you end up being on social media for an hour and a half, scrolling on Facebook and Insta and checking Snapchat, and it really can go. You can lose yourself. You really can lose yourself in the social media game, and it's hardcore. Kelli, I really do appreciate this. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about prior to us saying goodbye? Oh, I know sometimes I could get a little too much, but is there anything that you wanted to say, any message at all, or do you think we covered a good amount?
I mean, we covered most of it. I think if there's people who are kind of new to the gym, I would definitely recommend doing your research, not falling for one of those pyramid schemes, and actually.
Wait, what do you mean a pyramid? I don't even know what a pyramid scheme is when it comes to working out. How can...
I feel like I'm gonna piss a lot of people off talking about this, but this is such a big thing nowadays, and it's the beach body coaches, it's the Herbalife, all those pyramid schemes.
Oh yes.
People fall for them, and then they become these coaches, and then they try to coach these other people, but they don't have the certifications. So when people are new, they automatically, they're like, oh, okay, that seems like it'll work, that's fine. So I think people just really need to make sure they do their research and hire a coach, hire a trainer, make sure that you understand form and reps and how to create a program and all that, because that's important.
Yeah.
And then again, trying not to get too involved in social media and following all these fitness accounts that seem fake, and they don't really give their real life, and they've got the tiniest waist and the huge ass. That's not real.
That's not real.
Photoshopped. What?
And if it's not Photoshop, that's a Brazilian surgeon. That ain't the gym, baby.
So that just messes with your mind, I feel especially for females.
Yeah, no, it's heavy stuff. It's heavy stuff. I have to say, the looking at your body constantly, it's hard not to do, especially in the social media world, where the competition isn't just your high school friends or your colleagues at work or your your competition is Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Every day you open up your Facebook, your Instagram, right?
Mm-hmm.
You seeing perfection in every different way, and you oh my goodness, I look like shit. No, you don't. You look good, but don't forget to go to the gym.
Go to the gym.
Go to the gym, because we can always be a little bit better. But you got to stop with the comparisons all day, every day.
Yeah.
All day, every day. Oh, Kelli. So I've known Kelli for a very, very, very long time. We went to elementary school together. And I have to say, Kelli, I am really, really, really happy with what you're putting out there. Because yes, it's easy. It's super easy for you to go out there and put up just a lot of the ladies going out there and putting out sexy pictures, right? Of the more skin that's showing, the better. But every time I'm on Instagram and I'm seeing Kelli stuff, yes, of course she looks good, but there's a reason behind the just look at my sexy self. And I love that, right? And she has it. If she wanted to just do the sex appeal, do you, boo-boo. And I'm not judging, but I'm just saying, for you to put in that extra work, for you to be giving people more than just look at me, is the greatest thing ever. I love seeing it out there. And the only reason, you guys, I say this all the time, but only when it's true. But the only reason Kelli is sitting here with me is maybe I get a little extra credit because we've known each other for a while. But I messaged her on Instagram and on Facebook, and I said, Kelli, we should do this. And she said, yeah, let's make it happen. So I'm just letting you guys know that, so you know, if you were to go to her Facebook page, Lawless Lift Fitness, or her Instagram page, which is the same thing, Lawless Lift Fitness, she is going to reply. She will give you advice. She's there, and she does indeed respond. That's indeed the only reason that this is happening right now. Kelli, thank you so much for doing this. Did I miss anything? Is there anything else that you would like to plug before we say goodbye to our friends?
No, I think you covered it all.
Oh, goody! That's my lady. Ladies and gentlemen, please go ahead and go look her up. The links are going to be in the description box below. And once you're done looking her up, please don't forget, wherever you're listening to this, go to my podcast on Apple Podcast. Give me a rating, review me, and let us know how you get down. Are you a CrossFitter? Are you a bodybuilder? Do you run marathons? What do you do to stay active? We would love to know. Thank you very much. Catch you later. Deuce.